Hi there, welcome to the Tent News, where the truth comes to light and the stories everyone is talking about are brought straight to you. From shocking confessions and viral social media moments to real life mysteries and trending drama, this is the place where we uncover it all. Now, please watch this video first, and I will be back with the rest of my commentary.
Swaziland, la, semsawa.
Imagine trying to convince someone that that fence is actually a border and that when you jump the fence, automatically you are considered a foreigner. Even though the same grass or the same tree that's growing on one side of the fence is growing on the other side of the fence, or the maize meal that is planted on the other side of the fence, which is Swaziland, can grow also on the other side of the fence, which is South Africa. Imagine trying to convince someone that once you jump that fence, your whole identity changes. An African cannot be a foreigner on African land, bruv. They cannot. You can't tell me a wire fence. Fence is the one that's dividing you. And once you jump that fence, you are considered a foreigner, and then you are what. And then on top of that, you need to have all of these paperwork from jumping a fence. No, they're a joke. These borders are honestly just unnecessary. They are truly unnecessary because look, on the other side of the fence they have, like, I think it's maize meal or in corn, something like that. They have that thing growing there on the other side of the fence in Swaziland. In South Africa, there's a road. We could have planted corn all the way through, even over the road. Take the road, move it to another place. Now imagine having to explain to a South African, a xenophobe, a Afrophobe, and a tribalist, that the fence honestly does not matter. It doesn't change who the person is. The person who is from Swaziland, who is black, when they jump that fence, they are still black. They are still African. Guys, like is a mental construct. Honestly, it's honestly a mental construct. Because also explain to me, what is going to happen to the xenophobes, the tribalists, and the Afrophobes the moment the South African government and the Swaziland government decide, you know what, let's take down the border. There's no need for us to have that fence anymore. We are removing all of the fences between South Africa and Swaziland. What is going to happen to your brain? Nizo crasha. Nizo qala glitcha. Straight. Nizo glitcha, guys. The fence is a state of mind. Because this thing is equivalent to to comparing maybe the side of the street. To say, okay, when you drive on the left side of the street, you are in Swaziland. And when you drive on the right side of the street, you are in South Africa. So if you want to overtake, let's say it's a two-way lane, and then you want to overtake a car. When you overtake the car on the two-way lane, and you jump to South Africa and then jump back to Swaziland, are you going to find me? Am I going to be fined for overtaking on a South African lane a car that is in Swaziland? Are you going to find me? Are you going to say to me, well, where are your documents, my dear? You need to have a ZAP and a ZEP and a ZER and a SEZ and a what and a what and a what. It's a mental construct. You guys are just not grasping. Because an African cannot be a foreigner on African land. It is impossible. It is impossible. We can't go around saying, yeah, we are all African. And then you say, but you are cancelling the first statement. Yeah, vele, we are all Africans. But is South Africa want to... No. You are losing the plot completely. Entirely, you are losing it. An African cannot be a foreigner on African land. An African cannot be a foreigner on African land. An African cannot be a foreigner on African land. An African cannot be a foreigner on African land. An African cannot be a foreigner on African land. An African cannot be a foreigner on African land. An African cannot be a foreigner on African land. An African cannot be a foreigner on African land. An African is not a foreigner on African land. And an African cannot be a foreigner on African land. I said it 10 times. Every day, please repeat it 10 times, especially for the xenophobes, the Afrophobes, and the tribalists. 10 times every day, repeat it. Now, imagine on top of explaining to someone who is a xenophobe, Afrophobe, and a tribalist, that an African is not a foreigner on African land, number one. Then explaining to them how a border is a colonial construct. So when black people were being oppressed, or when black people, or when a bunch of white people were going around killing and taking everything from black people, they drew a line which materialized into a fence. And then from that fence, they said to black people, if you jump the fence as a black person and you go to the other side of this fence, you are a foreigner. And then they believed it. The black people in that time, they believed it. Okay, if I jump this fence I am a foreign. I'm no longer an African. The moment I jump the fence, I lose my African status and I become a foreign. And then they believed it. So now imagine, guys, trying to uncolonize a colonized mind, that when you jump that fence, you are still an African. You are still at home. You are not lost. You are not what you are still at home. Imagine having to explain that to an Afrophobe. Over time, Mishem. And also, imagine also trying to break down to an Afrophobe, a xenophobe, and a tribalist. The fence, that barbed wire. One fence comeback is showing us in the video. It is a mental construct, that they materialized. So white people came together and they said, we are going to draw lines. After they drew lines, they said, we are going to put fences. After they put fences, they said, no, we are going to make sure that no one jumps the fence. And we are going to make sure that they believe that the moment they jump the fence, they are foreigners. And it materialized. Guys, little bit over time. You guys are gonna have to start paying me for all of this. I can't, guys. I'm spending so much time trying to uncolonize the masses. Limperikisa over time. OTO and I'll subscribe. Now, also imagine trying to explain to a xenophobe, Afrophobe, and a tribalist that when a white person jumps the fence, they are considered a visitor. But when a black person crosses or jumps the fence, they are considered foreigners. Imagine having to explain that to a xenophobe. Over time. Historically, when black people would visit other black people, or Africans would visit other Africans from different parts of Africa, they would be considered visitors. Because you are visiting. If I leave South Africa and I go to Lesotho, I would be visiting Lesotho and then I'm coming back to South Africa. But when a white person comes to Africa, immediately and as soon as an ASAP their foot land on African soil, they are foreigners. They are not visitors. As soon as their feet land on African soil, they are what you consider a foreigner. And the same applies to everyone who is non-African. They are not visitors, they are foreigners who are visiting. When you're not a foreigner, you can visit however you want, but you are never a foreigner. They are foreigners who are visiting. They have to go back to where they come from. Imagine having to explain to a xenophobe that white people settled and white people have to go back to their ancestral land. Especially the racist ones. We have to prioritize the racist white people to go back to their ancestral land. The ones who are open-hearted, who love us and they live like us and they are what, those ones, they can stay for like 3 years maximum, according to me, 3 years, 5 years, if they have families, I guess, that's a conversation for another day. The racist white people have to be a priority and they have to be listed and leave the country, because the racist ones are the ones who came and took the land. Imagine having to explain that every day on TikTok. Every day on TikTok, I'm trying to explain the same thing. And every day, I see different people come into the comment section fighting me for something that I have been explaining for over a year now. I've been doing this for 1 year, guys. I fell into this thing. I didn't wake up like Jacinta and decide, okay, now I'm going to do this. I fell into it. You could have not some and then guys. For 1 year, I've been trying to explain this to xenophobe, Afrophobes, and tribalists. Have understand? Bayala. Over time. Go subscribe on Facebook. I have a Facebook account. Can you guys please subscribe? I just need 1,000 subscribers. Fail. I'm not greedy.
Guys, here we're being shown at the border between South Africa and Swaziland, and I really cannot believe this. I am shocked. Okay, you cannot come here and try to convince me that once you pass through that small fence, you have entered another territory, like you have illegally entered another territory, which means you are a foreigner on that other side. Which is just something else, guys. Which is just something else. And this lady is trying to explain to the xenophobes to say, guys, stop this nonsense. Like, stop it. Because it really does not make any sense. To say, as Africans, we are actually being divided by these borders, which are just walls. And it really does not make any sense. That's my point. That's just my point, Tori. No, and the other thing again, guys, if you can check in these African countries, the languages that we have in South Africa, they're also out there on other African countries. This alone should tell you everything that you need to know. This alone should tell you everything that you need to know, guys. I feel like at this point, we have let this whole thing get out of hands. And I'm glad that there are people that have big platforms that are standing against these marches to say, please stop. Just stop, because it's not making any sense. And now even these that were doing the marches, they're now coming back to their senses to say we have messed up. Remember, those people that lives in the locations, they buy mostly their products and food at these Abu My Friends. And now Abu My Friends are gone. You have to take a taxi to go to town to buy a loaf of bread, which you will not find it ka 20 randa. You will not find it ka 18 randa. You are going to find it go ma 25. Yes, you will have to save 100 rand to go to town and buy just basic things, which is very, very sad, guys. How did we get here? How did we even get here, guys? It's so heartbreaking. But anyway, please say your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think?